Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Anastasia. Clock into this new quality, baby. We have some new quality over here, and we're coming back with lots of new videos. Today, we were doing something really beautiful for Valentine's prep. So we've got these beautiful flowers behind me, and with that, we have a lot of leftover flowers, and I wanted to make a cologne, a spiritual cologne. We get questions all the time online how to make spiritual colognes, and I do show you on Patreon. So today, I'm going to show you both Patreon, YouTube. We're gonna make an ancestral blend. This isn't gonna be the traditional Florida water recipe because we've only got white florals here, and there's traditional things that need to go into Florida water. So we're not making a Florida water today, but we are making a spiritual cologne for our ancestors. This is gonna be for guidance, blessings, just overall altar use. You can use it for purification as well. The main things that you're gonna need today, any type of white florals, they should be fresh. Make sure you get, if you can, organic ones because you're gonna be using this in spiritual washes, baths, on yourself, on your hands, the back and neck, on your, feet and head. You don't want to be using things that are sprayed with pesticides. If you can, not get them. If you can't get any fresh flowers that have been sprayed, go ahead and get the dried flowers and we can do the same processes that we're going to do. But we just want to try to get as organic as we can as we're going to be probably wearing this, using this. If it wasn't that, if you're not going to use it on your body, that doesn't really matter. I do think though, spiritually, if you're going to give it to your ancestors, pesticides are not the best. So outside of that, what we'll need is either your type of alcohol. Clearly we like Bacardi, either light or dark. My ancestors for this one specifically, because we're going to kind of be doing think white bath, purification, white. I'm going to go with clear. Normally my folks do like a dark rum, but for what I'm making, I'm going to make the executive decision. Obviously listen to your spirits. If they tell you no last minute, they don't want that, you'll get the feeling of no, switch. But any alcohol will work. These spiritual colognes are alcohol based. This isn't something that you use with water. Water will mold your herbs. If you could use an oil, but then it's not it's not a cologne. Whatever alcohol you want, if you have isopropyl alcohol, that would be a little bit different, but that's all you have, and maybe you're not 21, you can't get your hands on alcohol, you can also use that, or witch hazel or something like that if you're not 21. But get yourself your florals, and the florals can be led by spirit. I would say that you should definitely keep the purification properties in mind, or ancestral properties, whether it's spiritual allies, herbal allies, or roots and herbs that your specific ancestors or cultures are familiar with or that they like. That would be what I would use, but also keep in mind that we're making it for blessings, purifications, and for altar purposes. So we'll go through what I have right here, but anything that you can get at your local botanica or anywhere. I mean, where do you get flowers? Really anywhere, Walmart, Target. I think you can get them at Trader Joe's, really anywhere. Just look for whites. And I also do, for just some green foliage, I have olive branches here. It's like an olive leaf. This one, I think you can find normally in the little floral arrangement sections. This is also fresh. If you can't get it fresh, you can buy these leaves by themselves. We sell them. They might not be on the site, but you can email us. We have them if you want. To start this out, we are going to want to cleanse all of our things, all of our tools. Really the only things that we have today is ourselves. You do need a jar with a lid because it needs to be fully sealed. So I prefer a glass jar. If you can find a big amber one, that's fine. I'm making a big batch for myself and the co-witches here. So normally you'd make it in a little smaller batch. Actually, it doesn't matter, but a dark amber would be good so the stuff doesn't turn it and it slowly imbues or infuses. But if you don't have that's fine. I'm gonna move my alcohol to the side, and then here we are going to cleanse my hands, the jar. You don't have to cleanse the florals if you'd like to. These have already been cleansed because we've made them into spiritual things earlier. But if you haven't, cleanse those. So I'm using Palo Santo to cleanse today. My hands, my jar, anything that my flowers have already been cleansed spiritually because we've used them for something for moonlight already. But you might think, why are we cleansing flowers? Because somebody cut them, somebody put them, that was wet. Somebody put them, into a ship. They got transferred over here. You bought them at a store. The clerk put their hands on them. You just want to make sure that anything that you're preparing spiritually is null and void of any other energies that might get in the way of things that you're using. So my hands and myself are going to be cleansed really quick. I obviously do have my oils on for today, so we're good. I'm going to do my feet because I just always do my feet. We have our Palo Santo, everything is cleansed and cleared. With this, if you want to make this at your ancestor altar, obviously I'm not at my altar right now. I would make this at my ancestor altar as it is for them. In general, I make spiritual waters at my altar because that's just the place to be. If you are making this for your ancestors or for a deity, go ahead and light their candle, lay offerings. The offerings for this could be the rum that you're using or alcohol that you're using. It doesn't have to be rum. It could be vodka. It could be really any type of liquor that they like, you can make this with. So go ahead and leave them an offering of that. If you want to write a petition for what this is for, a petition would just be get yourself a piece of paper, probably bigger than this, but this is what I have. Rip all the man-made edges off towards you because you're drawing in blessings, purification, all those things. You're going to want to rip all the man-made edges off like that. And then you can write on it, write what you want for your ancestors, fold it down, put it underneath this. I'm not going to do that for today's purposes because I don't need to, but if you'd like to, that's totally fine. We're going to start with, here we've got feverfew. I love feverfew. I've been using this a lot recently. Really, you would take the florals. I'm putting the stems in here for spiritual waters. It's really just important that you have fresh herbs, you've got roots, you have florals. Really, the florals are important. Just all of the fresh aspects really are. But I'm going to pull all of the flowers off of this, and I'm gonna put 1 or 2 stems in because stems just add like resilience and strength. All of these things in a couple weeks. Really, we're gonna let this sit for 2 to 4 weeks, 2 weeks minimum, 4 weeks max. Well, not max, but I just would strain it and start using it after the 4 weeks. We're really only gonna give it some of these sticks. I have scissors over here. If you can pull apart as much as you can with your hands, do it. I just have weak nails right now and I don't want to tear mine apart. The more that you can put your hands in this, you're imbuing your energy. You wanna think praying towards this. The feverfew is good for a lot of different things. We're honing in on purification, cleansing, with most of these things. So you'd want to pray over them. I thank my ancestors of their highest good for leading me every single day to whatever it might be you're working on. For this is specifically purifying me. Thank you for keeping me protected, cleansed, and able to walk freely of my highest good, working towards my goals that I've set forward with you. So all of these things are going to be put in there, or insert your prayer there. Obviously, you will want to take step by step. Your candles are lit for your ancestors. Play some music that you like. I would be listening to American Requiem right now by Beyonce. Anything like that that's going to feel, or maybe like Protector from that album, Come On Cowboy Carter. Anything that's going to be uplifting for you and your ancestors, you want to put it in. This is my last little piece of feverfew. This also looks like chamomile, so it kind of gives that. It's not. It's stunning. Next up, we've got chrysanthemums. Oh, where am I? We have white. These are wax roses, I believe, but they're fresh. They're actual real roses, but they're called wax roses. And these are going to be beautiful. Purity, innocence, ancestral. White is so good for a lot of things. And I'm not like people. Different spiritualists will do their Florida waters differently. I actually like keeping a bit of the stem. Why? Because there's thorns on this stem, so it's going to hurt yourself. You can prick yourself. Blood will be drawn. These things are spiritual allies, right? These are things that we can lean on, so you don't have to use all of your energy when you're doing spells. Roses are great for romance. The specific color of white is for purity. You could use it for innocence, purification. Weddings, like union. You could also use it, just so many different things. But then on top of it, what comes with it is the sharpness, the protection. You can get protections with roses. People are like, it's just for romance. No, they're protective as well. So I'm gonna put a couple of these in. The beautiful things about these wax roses is like one rose itself comes with like so many. So I'm not gonna put all of these because I don't necessarily need them. You also could do this down to the number if you have specific numbers with your ancestors or spirits. If I was making something for Aphrodite, all of these things would be in 5s. Like every single thing would be in a 5 or a 10. So like these ones we're putting together, and I think this is gonna be my last. Now there's gonna be one more bundle of roses that we'll put in here. And roses are great. So family union and ties. Union doesn't just have to be for yourself. You want your family to stay together. And union, when you marry somebody, their family gets brought together. It's just so beautiful. And you can use this with all of your ancestral workings. In a white bath, it would be really beautiful to purify and reset your energy. I love white baths. I take them multiple times a week. So this is, look how beautiful, stunning. If I had rosemary, if I had pine that was fresh, I would be heavily putting it in here. I do not. It's okay. You still definitely could put, like I said, you could put dried. I just am not going to do that. We have had these flowers, as you can see that they're kind of wilting. They've been sitting in this room. This is my live flower or like live room that we're in. I'm going to pull these off because this got a bunch of energy from everything that we've done the last couple of weeks. It's been 2 weeks worth. I'm going to put one of these. You could, like, he loves me, he loves me. That's a whole thing, right? But we're not doing that for Ancestors 1. But you could pray over each petal if you wanted to and drop them in. I'm not going to do that, but I think if you're doing that at home, you should, at least for one of the roses, okay? Okay, next up we have our carnations. and these are white as well. I think I'm gonna put 2 of these. We had a whole video on carnations. You can use them for friendships as depending on the color. Please be mindful about flowers you're giving to people. With the white here, we're just boosting. This is for personal strength and spiritual growth with my ancestors, because we will be using this obviously all over the altar, your hands and feet, just in general, but growth within your ancestral work. So, and purification. The white always, like everything that we add on, obviously is going to have purification, the holiness of what a white bath gives. So you want to keep praying with them all, but each flower does have its own thing that it can bring you. So you can be mindful about those things too. I'm kind of running out of space, to be honest. I need to put some baby's breath last in here. This I feel like truly brings, for me, baby's breath, I love that. It really, for me, represents the innocence. And I'm going to keep bringing it up. There's certain things when we're talking about ancestral things, obviously you're not seen necessarily as a baby, like you're a baby, but you're a child to them because you are, and you're worldly when they're past, right? And I love the innocence and the protection that using, I feel like baby's breath brings. Yes, it brings immense like beauty. It's great for aura work. It's really, really, really good for lots of deities like Aphrodite loves and those kind of things. But for specifically this, I would not be making a blessings. I just feel so blessed with, I just do. I love so bad. Baby's breath just makes me feel so pure and just like timeless. So now that we have our base of the flowers, which is the jar's full, really as much as you want to put in, as less as you want to put in, it's totally up to you. You could put dried herbs here if you'd like to. I'm not going to. I think the only one last thing that wouldn't necessarily make this like a white bath, but something that I would really like to add like just the energy into this is a little bit of orange blossom. And that would be stunning. Either orange peel, orange blossom would be great, but I don't have any, so that's okay. Next step, I would spend some time, if bells, spend some time praying with your ancestors for specific things that you want in your blessings. Blessings can be broad, or they could just be, we're working towards a home, maybe we're working towards a new job, or I want to be blessed in the new things every like step I take towards my next goals in life, or the things that I'm trying to achieve whilst using these things just in general in my life. Be specific. Or you could just ask for better blessings in this new year because it's the beginning of the, well, it's February, but either way. Or whenever you're watching this, ask for blessings, be specific about the things you ask for if you're looking for specific things. You can also ask for this to help protect your health, just anything that you're using on your ancestor altar, and may they be blessed as well. Anytime I'm asking for blessings, like it's just, I feel like it's a little bit selfish and crazy just to be asking for yourself. Ask for your spirits to be blessed as well. And the spirits of every single flower that you ask, thank them for being part of the ceremony today. Thank you for the energy that they're lending, all those kind of things. For spiritual colognes, you want them to be fully covered in alcohol. So this whole, I actually hope that this fits. This whole bottle or all of the flowers got to get covered. You guys know that I adore water because it's easy to program wise. Scientifically, it's actually been proven that you can program water with energy. Outside of that, liquid is my favorite form of magic. You can pray over this bottle itself. I could remove a hex with this, please. Alone, right? So you can pray over this bottle and this could just bring you what, well, not whatever, but like I could ask for cleansing and purification with a white liquor and you could do that. We're going to pray with this as we're pouring it over, your specific prayers that you would have already said while you were putting, or if you have your petition, once again, you pray over that. I'm just going to be silent over this. This is for my business. So we're making this at like anyone that either uses it, which would be co-witches, or the people, if they're trying it out in the store, if they happen to get their, it's not going to get to the store. But if they, well, it might, if they get their hands on it, that they're also, the blessings comes for them. So it's, this one is more broad because I can't be like, oh, specific things for me, and then other people use it. So we'll be silent while we pour this over, but be mindful about your energy, be mindful about everything you're doing because you're doing it specifically for an outcome and you want it to be working, so be mindful. If you are someone who likes to burn incense, I love having an incense right in front of this while we're doing it, so it just boosts the energy of the spell. I was using Palo Santo and it's out, and that's totally fine. I'm just not gonna relight it. So we're gonna pour this out over your flowers. That's crazy that, well, we had a little bit before this, just the smallest, teeniest, babiest bit before this. I will pour another, we have one more bottle over here, off the side. You do want it to be covered. This is, choose a cheap liquor, or do not, don't, well, it's up to you and your spirits. My spirits are down with me using something a little bit cheaper. Bacardi's not that bad. But it's not like this is not going to be their poured offering, so it doesn't have to be something necessarily laced. You're just using this for the alcohol. This is fine. There's like the smallest bit of twigs, maybe like 1/4 of an inch that are sticking out. That is totally fine. because you are going to be shaking this. Now, it depends on how you want to finalize making this. It's not really finalized until it's strained. If you like flames and you like fire, fire is your thing. I'm a water element, like elemental witch. Obviously, I use candles and candle spells all the time, but for me, I'm not gonna put the candle stuff on here. If you like candles or you're a more visual person and you want to see the thing that you're working on, get yourself a white candle, etch your ancestor's name or your family name, or if you have like a family crest or anything like that, etch it from bottom to the top, stick it on the middle of this and let it burn. Once it's burned down, take your candle off or whatever like little bit of wax that you're there, and then we're gonna move on to the next step. If you're not gonna be doing a candle, that's fine. My hoodooists, I should have told you at the beginning, but you're probably gonna watch this and then do it. If you are a hoodooist, go ahead and get your white candle out and be burning it in front of would actually be here for me, but it would be flipped for you if that makes sense. So if you're a hoodooist, there's no more explanation. If you're not a hoodooist, you get it. If you don't need to get it. You don't know, the white candle's over here, right? Outside of that, if you're not either of those two people that want to use flames or you're not a hoodooist, that's fine. We are going to go ahead and every day for at least 2 weeks, just at least 2 weeks. If you want to do the whole four weeks, totally fine. Every day around the same time, whether it just be morning or night, middle of the day, whatever. I like to do stuff at night because it's just like this kind of stuff. I remember I have a little bit more time after work. But if you're like, I'm an early riser, but I just don't have time for this kind of thing. But if you're an early riser and you're at your altar doing like altar work, do it. Every day you want to go by and shake it. Whether you do one of these slowly, I can't tip this one all the way over because these jars for some reason aren't actually sealed. You can turn it this way, like slowly combining it like this, right? Or you can shake like this. You can do this. I prefer like with a jar like this, I'm gonna slowly do this every day. So you can go like one of these and you're slowly combining it, right? You can fully flip it. However you want to stir this up, you do need to combine it every day. And while you're doing this, either praying to your ancestors, you're praying to the spirit of this, you're praying for the blessings, the purification, the overall energy that you're looking to bring when we're using this, right? And that's up to you to whatever you want to program in here. I gave you the blessings and like the main purpose of these flowers, but you can always, whatever you want, right? For 2 weeks, every single day you're gonna go back. It's important that it's the same time of day just for the spirituality of it all. If you wanna do the full 4 weeks, go ahead. And then what you're gonna need to get is a cheesecloth, some sort of strainer. If you don't have either, you really could use like a organza bag, but you're gonna have to take some time to like keep getting the herbs out because organza bags are small. But what you're gonna wanna do is get another jar. It's like smaller than this or the same size, whatever, or bowl, and strain it over there. In a month, if you guys wanna see, put in the comments below. I can show you guys us straining this afterwards and like how we would use it. I can show you how it turns after a couple weeks. We can kind of update you on the stories, so look on my Instagram to see how this is turning, because the water will get a little bit cloudy. You'll see, depending on what elementals, what herbs we use and things, like the color could change. If I had a little bit of hibiscus in here, it'd be pink. Oh, so cute. So every day you're shaking it, you're putting it back. You need to store this in a cool, dark place for those 2 weeks, 4 weeks. And in general, with spiritual colognes, you kind of do want to just keep it in a cool, dark place because you do have the like florals that you had in there. Obviously, you're going to strain all the florals out. What do we do with the florals from then? I wouldn't bathe in them. Usually, I recommend you bathe in florals that you've used, herbs that you've used. These are soaked in alcohol, and it's going to hurt your skin if you have any open sores or wounds or anything. So don't. But you could dry these herbs out and then like just on your altar or something, or just let them dry in the bowl that they're in, that you've strained them from, like in the sun, and then you can give them back to the earth. You can bury them, you could burn them. Be careful burning them because they're gonna have a lot of alcohol even if they're dry, and they'll go up in flames, but just be careful. And then you can like blow it out into the wind. If you want to dry them, grind them up into a powder, use the powder on your thresholds or on candles. Perfect. So this is the first step of your cologne. Obviously, if you don't want to make spiritual colognes, we do sell them on the website, and we have a ton of different ones, great ones. They're all made for different things, spelled for different things, but I did want to show you guys how to make them in a physical form. And I think this blessings one, it's perfect for white baths. Like I cannot recommend enough taking a white bath, and we have posts on that on Patreon, or I can come back and show you guys how to put together one of those. I can do that in a video form. That's good for resetting your energy, grounding, centering, bringing tranquility back into your life, like grounding your energy and just getting you back together. I love it. So this is a type of cologne that I use very often. Any type of altar work, if you're trying to get energy off your space, doing an offering, prep your hands before spell work, this is perfect for that. You can also use this as Florida water. Not that I'm saying it is Florida water. If you don't have Florida water, you could use this in replace of that. Thank you guys so much for spending spending time with me today and sharing your energy. If you guys try this out, either tag me in a picture or just comment below seeing how you like it. Remember to shake it. Play some music while you shake it like a tail feather girl. Have some fun. Let me know if you want to learn anything specific. Leave it in the comments below. I'm live every Friday on TikTok and Twitch, so see me over there if you want to see any live spell work, because we do live spell work over there. You guys can text me questions or type them out in the chat. If not, thank you. I'll see you soon.